If you listen, you will hear. Voice of God is the voice of God. In your question, He's the answer. Voice of God is the voice of God. Just like my daddy, he always taught me. Voice of God is the voice of God. I remember that day when he called my name. Nothing was the same because of the voice. Yeah, and everything was changed. I saw myself. Welcome. Before there were so many noises, I made so many wrong choices listening to the voice. But now I hear, and He's still speaking. He's still declaring. Hey sis. It's the voice of God. Creation responds, though it's still away. The voice of God. It's the voice of God. Voice of God is the voice of God. Hey guys, good evening. All right, so yep. Let me disconnect that right away. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 2021. This is our first Raising Girls series live session. I want to welcome every one of you joining in from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're joining from. I'm excited to welcome you here tonight. So let me go through Instagram and see who is there. So if you're here, wherever you're joining me from, wherever you're watching from, do leave a comment in the thread. Let me know where you're joining in from. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know I'm watching from YouTube. And this is the city or country that I'm joining in from. I would like to say hi to Pure Radiances. Hey girls. Hey sis, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Happy New Year to you. Good evening to you too. I saw Ceci a few minutes ago. Ceci and Ceci, thank you for joining tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Yep. So let me hear your comments. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining from. Welcome to Raising Girls Weekly. Yeah, I'm using my 10 over 10 Girls Cup tonight. I'm actually launching it tonight. I made the cup just for this show. So I'm launching it. I'm enjoying it. I'm feeling good seeing the 10 over 10 girl idea in souvenir print, and I love it. Yep. Good evening. Welcome. Tell me where you're joining from. Tell me how 2021 is coming already. Today is the 22nd day in 2021 already. So the first month is fast spent. I'm hoping the Christmas euphoria has toned down from your end. All right. Thank you so much. It's Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much to everyone joining in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're joining from. It's a privilege, it's an honor to have you come spend your Friday evening with me for a few minutes. So let me hear you in the comments section where you're joining me from, where you're watching from. Yep. I want to hear your voice, want to hear your comment. Tell me where you're joining from, where you're watching from, how 2021 is coming already. 2021 is going really fast. I mean, January, we're almost done. I'm harassed just thinking about that. There's still quite a lot to do within the month. Man, it's been an exciting couple of weeks. I missed everyone. Yes, I'm going to send you your 10 over 10 Girls Cup by God's grace. Yep, I was going to ask that. Would you want to have the 10 over 10 Girl Cup? Yes. Cup, t-shirt. Yes, I had to do some souvenirs. And we're ready. 2021, we're ready for the 10 over 10 Girl campaign. We're ready to raise our voices for this girl and everything. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'm seeing comments on Instagram, but I'm not seeing from YouTube, and Facebook. And I'm seeing quite a number of eyeballs. So please leave a comment and let me know where you're joining from. Yeah, my name is Irene Bangwell. If you're joining for the very first time, my name is Irene Bangwell. I'm a Raising Girls coach. As a Raising Girls coach, I work to provide girl parents with the tools and strategies that they need to raise strong, smart, confident girls using biblical principles. So if you're out there, you're looking for godly insight on how to raise a girl that honors God with her body, intellect, abilities, yep, you got the right channel. We come out here every Friday night at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. Thank you, Pure Radiances. Yep, I come out here every Friday at 7 p.m. And if you're watching us from YouTube, this is a good time to click our YouTube channel and subscribe. And make sure to go back to watch some of our replays, right? That's an exciting one, I tell you. Go back, watch our different episodes at different times when we talked about different things, including our Girl Story Night that also happens periodically on Fridays as well. So please go catch the replay. Yeah, yes, sis. I look forward to having you as well. So catch the replay very, very quickly, all right? Catch replay of past episodes and everything, but make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the link to the YouTube channel. And if you're watching from inside the group, add people to join the group so that we can all learn together. Add your siblings, spouses, your colleagues, their spouses, your neighbors, their spouses. Add as many people within your reach and let's learn together, all right? So tonight is our first edition of Raising Girls Weekly for 2021. It's an honor for me to be out here. And yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm seeing your eyes. I've not yet started seeing comments, but that's okay. But keep them coming. Thank you for joining tonight. Even if you're joining for just a short bit, you're in passing, you're going somewhere, not a problem at all. Thank you for joining anyways. Just leave a comment and let me know you're here. And let me know how 2021 is coming already for you. So let me hear you in the comment section. And Instagram people have energy. So I love just looking at their comments and the threads and everything. All right. Thank you, Pure Radiances. You're really keeping me cool company tonight. So, all right, guys. Where are we? All right. So I'm getting ready for tonight's show. I'm just going to allow like a few more seconds before I fly these kites. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm so happy to come out to hang out with you. This is my first live video for the year. Yep, I needed to take that 1 month off. It really wasn't a break as in a break off work because I'm writing this period, I'm working, I'm creating. I'm sure you've been seeing the adverts of my Sex Education for Girls bundle that is out and currently on early bird pre-order. I'm going to tell you what that means in a moment. So I've been very busy, my hands, my head, everywhere. I'm just all over the place, but I'm happy that I could come out here tonight. Hey, someone is saying, hi, Irene. Good to be part of your program this evening. I love to have the 10 over 10 girl souvenir. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm going to work something out. We're going to work something out. T-shirts, cups. I really like the quality of shirts I got with this. And so I look forward. You know, my idea is moms and dads traveling with their little girls or going somewhere and all of them don the 10 over 10 girl brand. You know, just saying, this girl you're seeing with us is a 10 over 10 girl and we're raising her right. We're raising her the way God wants her to be raised, right? So good evening, everyone, once again. I'm happy to be out here again tonight to, resume our weekly interactions and conversations around raising 10 over 10 girls. So I'm happy to be here. I won't be sharing my screen tonight, but I'll be reading from my screen, right? So first and foremost, if you're just joining us for the very first time, raising girls or raising 10 over 10 girls is really about raising a girl. I like to tell you what it means, yeah? For joining for the first time and you're wondering, what's a 10 over 10 girl? I mean, is she perfect? Not at all. We're talking about raising a girl who becomes everything that God designed her to be. No limitations, no stereotypes, no limiting beliefs. And for those of us that are adults, if you sit down and reflect, you have a sense of the journeys that you have taken. So how do you turn around and give your daughter a more empowering journey? That's what these conversations are about. So the 10 over 10 girl is a girl who places the right value on God, the right value on herself, the right value on the people around her, and on her environment. This is because her thinking about who she is will determine how she relates with the world. Welcome, Ayomide Oluwafemi. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm excited to just see your name on the thread. Thank you for coming in tonight. So the 10 over 10 girl is a girl who places the right value on God. She has the right value on God. She has the right value on the people around her. She has the right value on the people around her, her mentors, her teachers. And when people are not good for her, she places the right value on them, meaning that she doesn't allow people doing wrong and should not be in my space. So we're looking at raising girls that are all rounded, wholesome, have have a unique personal relationship with God, and are courageous enough to become the very best at whatever it is God has designed them to be. So we're looking at girls who are not timid. We're looking at girls who are not shy. We're looking at girls who take feedback, who reflect, who can improve. We're looking at girls who have a great relationship with their parents. We're looking at girls who have support system at home, who come home to have the conversations that what's happening with my network. Don't do it to me this year, okay? This is not the year for internet to be blinking anyhow, all right? So I think I have backup already. So that's the thing. So that's a 10 over 10 girl. She's a remarkable girl in the making. She has the right support. She has the right value. She has the right identity, and so on and so forth. So recently I started working around a subject matter that I have oftentimes found that girls make a lot of mistakes. I'm seeing Favored B. You know, it's always beautiful to see you out here on Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you for joining. So recently I started work on an area that I have oftentimes noticed that girls were not equipped enough to handle. All right. So I've been mentoring teenagers for about 13 years now, from 2008 to now. I currently pastor a teens church. Prior to that, I've worked extensively with teenagers, running in-school clubs, running boot camps, and so on and so forth. And I've always found the girls gravitate towards me, and me too gravitating towards them. So one of the areas I've oftentimes seen that girls don't have enough quality information is around sex. And that's simply because they're not talking to the right people. They're talking to friends, they're searching on Google. So sometimes they have the wrongest idea about what sex is, about who they are, and how they ought to be with boys, and so on and so forth. So it's things like this and the witness that I had April last year to step out and begin to deliberately create content for parents of girls and girls themselves on subjects around sex. It's been an amazing journey for me. I've come a really, really long way. So, yes, we started our early bird pre order on the 18th of December. We started our early bird pre order on the 18th of December. It was supposed to close on the 18th of January, but we just decided to just give it some more days, and it's going to be closing in 6 days' time. And that will be January 28th. So, what's up with the early bird pre order? So, this is what we decided to do. We wanted to start the pre-order, and it was actually a process of us getting word out. So early bird pre-order for us was to see how many parents were keen on doing sex education conversations with the children. It was a way of validating that parents had a need to learn to know what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. So this is something we knew was important, but we needed to validate that parents wanted it. All right. So I went to work. I started working on a parenting book called titled How to Talk with Your Girls About Sex. Straightforward title, How to Talk with Your Girls About Sex. The entire conversation is what do you say, when do you say it, how do you say it? And by when I mean at what age should you tell her this? And when events don't turn out the way you expect, let's say something happens, you're concerned, what do you do if she's this age? What do you do if she's the other age? So that's what the book was about, but we didn't stop there. We knew that parents are beginning to build relationship with their children. However, we knew that the girls needed to get started on having the right access, right information, having access to the right information. So not only did we write a book for parents, we decided to get creative about it. So we designed amazing tools for girls. So two of them. One of them is what if cards. What if cards are conversation cards that have a parent side and the child side. The daughter has the question, the parent has the answer. They all have hints and clues, and it can form an amazing bonding activity. So we did the what if cards, and then we also did a doodle book. Doodle books are coloring books, right? So I put up a post today about 2 pages of the 15-year-olds coloring book, where we're talking to them about the future, and then being intentional about what they want for themselves. We're trying to also help girls see that you're an honorable being. God made you with honor in mind. God made you with vision and purpose. God has big ideas for you. So you can't just sit down and think that you came to this world just waiting for a guy to say you're beautiful. So we're trying to give them the perspective that no, you're a part of God's impact plan. So I put up a post today on a page of the Doodle book for girls, 15-year-old girls. We've adopted a unique strategy to communicating sex with them, where it is fun, it is interesting, and then it requires them to just think through some of the things, and then they kind of share what they're thinking as well. So what we have is the book for parents, the what if cards for parents and their girls, and then we have the Body Smart Doodle book, right, for different ages. And so what we did was we bundled it all up together, and we called it the Sex Ed for Girls bundle. And we started a pre-order, an early bird pre-order, which is not the actual pre-order. An early bird pre-order, which means it's the lowest price it will go for. And we went out at be good. So I like Instagram because I'm using a totally different network for Instagram, and it works, right? On a good day, MTN works, right? Let me hype them small today. So we bundled this up and we called it the early bird pre-order rate. Early bird pre-order rate was our validation phase to see the parents really want this. And as I'm talking to you, we've gone beyond validation. It's amazing the feedback we've gotten. So what happens is that on the 28th of January, we're going to wrap this early bird phase of the pre-order up. And then we're going to launch proper on the full pre-order, where we're going to be selling the bundle at 11,500 naira. By the way, there are 6 books in the bundle and 5 packs of game cards. So this is like a giveaway. I don't think the entire worth of the pack is less than 25K. It's not. So, but we're just making it available to as many parents as possible. So if you're listening to me and you want to get in on the early bird pre-order window, our validation window is very simple. All you need to do is just make sure you pre-order tonight, at least before January 28th as well, either tonight or before January 28th. But just in case you forget, tonight is a good day to do the pre-order. So you get to pre-order at 9,000. So from January 28th, we're going to give our first 300 subscribers the luxury of pre-ordering it at 11,500 naira. And after that phase, we're going to be on 13,500 till the launch date on Easter Monday, April 4th. So our book launch is Easter Monday, April 4th. So this sex education bundle is a campaign for us. It's not about launching the book in 2 weeks' time. No, it's about we want to get word out to as many families as possible. We want to get word out to as many families as possible. Like in the last couple of years of working with girls, I've seen a lot of things that are questionable. I mean, I was talking to a friend the other day how I knew these 5 brilliant women who were just going after, they were quarreling. Okay, they didn't know themselves, but they were beefing in pockets and pockets. Little girls beefing in pockets and pockets just for one boy like that. And I was wondering, what was it about him? Can these girls go talk to their parents? Who are they getting advice from? Who are they getting counsel from? I've also had to deal with kids who went on Google to discover stuff and it became the beginning of a problem. If not that, God stepped in to help. God made a way for us to be able to, you know, walk them through back to where they can get credible information from the right sources. We're waking up in a world where someone can wake up and say, oh, they have Stingy Men's Association, they're not giving women money. And instead of girls to say we are the Brain Box Association, we can create our money. Our response, women's response, was Stingy Women's Association. We're going to close our legs. So I'm like, raising children in this kind of reality is crazy. I want to know why someone is saying, I'm not giving you money. And instead of saying, well, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start an investment, or instead of saying, I'm going to create an idea, I'm going to do something worthwhile for myself, the response was, I'm going to close my legs. Your legs weren't an ATM machine. You don't open them to get money. So why are you closing them when somebody's saying they're not going to give you money? So right now we are raising girls in a generation that considers girls as sexual object. Even some of the girls consider it a powerful thing, like to be able to brag about how you're doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing and you're bragging about it. And when people speak up, they say, oh, no, 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 don't judge anybody. You don't know where they're coming from. No problem. But I'm just saying, you can't raise girls in such a permissive generation, in this kind of permissive atmosphere, and you're not talking proactively to your girls. So my goal in 2021 is to reach thousands of families raising girls, for us to shape up about how we're raising girls. We have to raise girls who have a sound mindset about who they are. And it doesn't begin when they're teenagers, it begins when they're younger. So we start cultivating their beliefs, helping them see the word of God for what it is, not a bunch of rules that wants to stifle you, but an all knowing God who sees ahead of you and is trying to protect you from you, trying to protect you from the lust of the flesh, trying to protect you from going with the trends and doing things that will cost you or things that you will regret. So these are the issues. So these are the things that led me into this project. So we're going to be campaigning massively. I need your help. I need your help to be tagging your friends to our post talking about the sex education bundle for girls. So like I said, early bird pre-order ends January 28th. Regular pre-order opens Friday, January. So by this time next week, we're going to be talking about the regular pre-order, where the rate is 11,500 naira for the first 300 persons. And then afterwards, we go to 13,500 naira. So all you need to do if you want to learn more about how you can and get the bundle, leave me a comment, whether you're watching on Instagram, on YouTube, either a comment or a DM. Just send me a private message and tell me you're interested, and I'll walk you through how you can pre-order your copy. Remember, we have an amazing virtual book launch on Easter Monday, April 4th, 2021. Yep, Easter Monday, because Easter Monday is the redemption morning. That's when we realize that we cannot be slaves to our passion. So we're going to raise girls who are not slaves to their passion. We're going to raise that if I act on it, I'm going to have to live with the consequences. So they're conscious of the choices they make. And these things don't start when puberty is kicked in. It starts when they're younger. We're teaching them to self-restrain, whether it's with their thoughts, with their words, with their actions, from when they're really young. So they have mastery of self before puberty and the hormones starts to kick in. It also offers us an opportunity to build relationship with them before they get into that phase of their lives. All right. So this is a tool that you must get. This is a tool that you must have. This is a tool. This is a must have. It has to be on your shelf and your children's shelf and your daughters in particular shelf, so that they start imbibing the mindset of the leading girl. They start imbibing the mindset of the 10 over 10 girl when it comes to how she makes sex-based decisions. I want to raise a generation of girls when a boy says, oh, you look really beautiful, they're like, thanks for the compliment, but they don't pay. It doesn't become something they meditate on, all right, because they are already validated. They accept compliments. At the same time, they don't ascribe importance to something or someone that they shouldn't be ascribing importance to. So I've been doing this for quite a while, so I know what I'm saying. Our little girls are struggling. They have questions, they have misconceptions, and they're talking to the wrong people. And that's because, as their parents, we are not opening our ears, we're not giving them our time. And I quite understand it's because many of us don't know what to say when our girls are asking us all these weird questions. You don't know what to say to what age, you don't know what works. So, what I've done is I've pieced it together for you. Now you're going to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and even when there's an emergency in front of you, how do you respond to it? You know, that kind of thing. So tonight I want to just talk very quickly about 5 misconceptions girls have about sex. Some of them you had them too while growing up, and you know something. That's one of the things about us adults. You had a misconception, but somehow you assume that your daughter doesn't have. You weren't talking to your parents, you were talking to somebody else, and you knew how that got you into several kinds of trouble. But now here you are, you're also a parent, you're not talking to your girls. I mean, sometimes we go through experiences so that we can offer the people coming after us a much better start off in life. You get the idea? So you had your misconceptions about sex. Some of you got burnt because of those misconceptions, but you're not still talking to your girls. So in the process, since we're all shutting out and not really opening up to our girls, these mistakes continue generation after generation. So in the process of me coaching girls and pastoring them in church and different things, I've heard quite a number of things. I've heard some of the most ridiculous things. So I want to share quickly 5 of them and why I find them really funny. So number one of the things that girls believe is that when boys are not asking them out, something is wrong. So you would find teenage girls say something like, nobody's asking me. It's not just a prompt thing, it's a thing, amongst them. In class, they start pairing together. So when one doesn't get attention from the other, is an issue. All right. And then the problem usually sometimes is that even if they get their attention and then there was a small issue, who they were pairing with leaves to go and pair with another person, it becomes a source of depression to them, because somehow we've managed to raise girls to think that validation comes when boys say so. I'm going to take that again. We have managed to raise girls to believe that they are validated by what a man says. So no matter how you tell a girl she's beautiful, she doesn't feel the same way until a man says it. And here's the thing, it starts with how we're bringing them up. But no, I'm not talking about how you should go about it. I'm just telling you, this is where the problem is. It's about how we socialize them. It's about the things we see at home. It's about how we've elevated the opinion of random boys over logic, over reasoning, because we're not having enough conversations with these girls. The second misconception that is scary that I've heard is that sex is love. We all heard it when we're younger. If you love me, prove this to me. All right. So we now have this very scary, overwhelming belief amongst teenage girls that when you're having sex with someone, then it means they love you and you love them. This is a crazy. In fact, in my opinion, sex and love should not be in the same sentence. Yeah, that's my opinion, because what does it take to have sex with someone? All you need is have an arousal, the person is ready, boom, sex is on the way. There doesn't need to be love in it. But our little girls don't know that. So our little girls, when boys are telling them they want to sleep with them, they feel like, oh, I'm having an impact on him. Oh, I'm turning him on. Meanwhile, if they had parents sitting through and talking with them, they'll see just how stupid that belief is. That's why they feel that they're heroes of love when they want to do something and you're telling them no. And again, that's where we miss it. Instead of offering them education, many times we offer them just rules. But rules that they agree on makes much better sense. Rules that they see the value of it, makes a lot more sense than rules and rules. Yes, sex and love should not be in the same sentence. And in the same way that sex and broke should not be in the same sentence. Sex has never been a cure for being broke. Unfortunately, that's one of the legacies we're passing on to the next generation. Now everybody has access to social media. So can you imagine the girls going out there and seeing that the response to Stingy Men Association was Stingy Girls Association with their legs closed, meaning that When you give me money, my legs open. So I'm asking, should sex and broke be in the same sentence? Should sex and love be in the same sentence? These are the things that the next generation need to learn. One of the things neuroscientists and psychologists tell us is that in the lives of our teenagers, in the brains of teenagers, or everybody's brain, there are two parts. There's a part of it that is responsible for your wanting to enjoy life and relax and just have fun. And then there's the other part that is decision making, where you make a decision and you live with the consequence. In us adults, both ends are fully developed. So we want to relax, but we also have choices and consequences. But in our teenagers, the part of the enjoyment is fully developed. The logical part is not developed. It is through the interactions with adults that we start helping them build a neural pathway about decision making, the foundation for decision making, choices and consequences. When you're not talking with your teenagers and they're talking with their peers, they're just recycling wrong information, mediocre beliefs, so they're not still growing their minds. That's why you would see an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 22-year-old, and their thinking is so childish. And you're wondering, how could this child be 22 and they don't know this? Well, in order for them to know it, an older person has to forge a strong relationship with them where they can talk things through, and in the process, that part of their brain is developed. So you're a parent, you're not talking to your girls about sex. You're allowing your relative that came to the house to talk to your child. What does your relative know? Can you vouch for your relative's belief system? Or you're allowing your children get on Google and they Google about sex and they Google about all kinds of stuff. And the question is, who is the one putting the content that they're accessing? So it becomes a priority for us. Our girls have all kinds of wrong beliefs, and I'm just exploring a few of them tonight. What's the third thing? Our girls actually believe that they cannot get pregnant when they have sex for the first time. Who says who? What does it even take to have sex? So some of us are so embarrassed about talking about the biology of it. Meanwhile, you're supposed to demystify the biology of it so that your girls can think through whatever decisions they want to make. So if you're shy about telling them that sex, depending on their age again, that sex is when a man puts his penis in the vagina and all of that kind of thing, releases semen gets into his body, fertilizes an egg, and a baby is born. If you don't explain the biology like that for your preteen or your teenager, for instance, when someone tells them that when you have sex for the first time you get pregnant, won't they, if they knew it, they would say, excuse me, if the penis has gone in and semen has been released, pregnancy can occur. All this first time, your body doesn't get an email, this is the first time, we'll allow them do free trial. Your body doesn't get that message. See this thing I'm telling you. It's supposed to be as simple as that. You just help your kids see this is the connection. When you do this and this happens, this can happen, so that they make informed decisions. And guess what? You know how many boys are telling them crap, and they are agreeing to that crap. One of the most ridiculous things I've heard is that everyone is having sex. I know the society is so broken down, and people are now going out there and shaming people that have strong values. I mean, I remember one time a teenager I was very passionate about woke up one time, very passionate. I don't know where the peer pressure came from, but it was really overwhelming on him at the time. And he started saying stuff like, there is no saint. The saint you see is the one that has not been caught. It's dangerous for kids to start imbibing this kind of mindset, because it means they stop to try. It means they disregard the standards and they become reckless. Unfortunately, they have to live with the consequences. You do know that, right? So whether your children have the right information or not, if they make a decision based on the information they have, they're going to have to live with the consequences. If they made the right decisions based on having access to quality information, again, they live with the consequences. They live with the consequences of the positive decisions they've made. So everyone, I mean, you should be the one talking to your kids that everyone is not having sex. Everyone is not having premarital sex. Everyone is not committing adultery. But anyway, while I'm saying this, the question is, what are you saying to your kids? What are you saying? What are you saying when you're on phone? What are you saying to your sister? Also, maybe your own experience has been really terrible, or you know a man who's not been faithful to his wife, and you know all of those things. You've said it so much that your teenagers now pick it like it's the norm. It may hurt some people, it's the norm. I mean, I've heard teenage girls say the heart wants what it wants. And I looked at them and said, really? Even if it's someone else, and they were like, sometimes you can't help what the heart wants. And I'm asking, where are all these conversations coming from? I can tell you, they're coming from movies, they're coming from music videos, they're coming from social media, because there's been a vacuum. Parents are not talking. So someone else with their own interest is talking. Someone else with their own interest is talking. You get the idea? And let me tell you, if you're not talking, if your voice is not louder than the voice of pop culture in your children's head, you're likely going to lose them. This is just the truth. This is not a prayer. This is not a threat. This is the truth. Your children ought to be your tag team when it comes to life and issues and answering the questions. So there's another one here. I ended up writing it, by the way, but I'm not going into a lot of details. So our children, our teenage girls say safe sex is when you use a condom. There's no such thing as safe sex. The only safe sex is the sex you have in your marriage. No other sex is safe. Shouldn't that be something we're telling our girls? That no sex is safe. Sex outside of marriage dishonors you, and the consequences are limitless. Why don't we talk about how we feel awkward as adults when you walk into a place and you see someone that you've been with? Or sometimes I know people who want to do stuff, but they keep feeling like the people from my past won't let me. Better decisions. And then they'll say that great sex is like porn. Isn't that interesting? So, first and foremost, they're inundated with porn. Secondly, they now have access to it, limitless access to it. When we were younger, in order for you to see porn, someone had to bring the magazine to your house or the CD. But now it's nothing. It's everywhere, shared on WhatsApp, it's shared everywhere. So it means our children's mind is going through a battle. Can you imagine the possibility of raising a girl who has a setting on her phone that if the video is not good content, she won't even download it, let alone delete it, let alone watch it. So when friends send a video, she'll ask them what's in there. If they say it's nonsense, she can delete it, she can block the people and the networks that always send that, because you've taught her adequately that the mind is a gate, that it doesn't matter what your values are. If your mind begins to feed on junk, after a while, your tolerance level begins to drop. After a while, you start making excuses. Before you know it, you become the very thing you criticize. How about we pass that on to our children and help them know the mind game? And we do it without fighting. We do it in the form of accountability. We help them see where we are taking them on this journey. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to go about all the things I'm saying. Don't worry. I've done the hard part for you. I've done the hard work for you. I've designed the sex education bundle for girls for you and your daughters. All you need to do to now do is when you pre-order it, when the tool is launched, simply sit with your kids and start the journey. Start that journey, start the conversation. Make yourself the go-to place to have these kinds of conversation. Don't let your kids feed off people on the street, feed off people on social media, feed off people who don't even know what they're saying. Then they have this other ridiculous belief that STIs is for people who sleep around. So if they have one partner that they're sleeping with, they're certain that they won't get an STI. And so I'm asking, who told them that the one partner they're sleeping with is sleeping with only them? Do they not know that at the first instance of intercourse, you can pick an STI? I mean, we need to have these conversations beyond just telling your children, I don't want to see you with a man. Bring down your phone. I've seized your phone. I mean, having conversations that have life so that we equip these girls right. Abi, is it the one that I say, don't bring me shame? Whatever you do, don't get pregnant. I've told you guys several times on Raising Girls that every time you tell your daughters whatever, well, every time you tell your daughters that if they get pregnant, you kill them. What you're actually saying is, do whatever you want to do, just don't get pregnant. And man, that's a blank check of satanic ideas. Teach your girls how not to need the sex in the first place. Teach your girls how to be so, let them esteem themselves so much that they see premarital sex as condescending, something they cannot do, because that's exactly how God wants them to see it. God's standard is purity. I don't care what anyone tells you. God's standard is purity. And because that's his standard, there's an enablement for it. There is grace for it. The question is, are we pointing our girls to God's grace, or we are pointing them to the same thing that social media is pointing them to, or the same thing that the world is pointing them to? So we need to find a way to give our children accurate quality information to build a relationship that makes them come back. And like I said earlier, I've done the hard work for you. I've pieced it together. I know what is taking me to do this, but I'm happy to be a part of this journey. I'm happy to see a generation of girls who know that God didn't make them sex objects, who know that sex is an exclusive of someone who has walked down the aisle with you, honoring God's gift and grace on your life. And even at that, they're equipped enough to know that not just anybody should walk them down the aisle. Because this whole thing, you can't educate your child to honor herself sexually, but she's not smart enough to know when someone is not treating her right. Because now we're talking about sex, and very soon we're going to be talking about the choices that are making in relationships. Because the truth of the matter is that our girls are going to date eventually. But what's the value with which they're going into dating with? You have a girl who can sleep around, who doesn't value anything. You think she's going to know who to be with when it's time to date? How do you think she's going to make the dating decisions? Because your girl is going to eventually date, and it's going to be the right thing to do at the time. But the question would be, is she going to sleep with the person she's dating? Who are the kind of people she can date? Is she going to, I mean, it's a lot of things. It's so much to look away from. And very soon, she's going to be getting married. I don't want anybody to call me to settle marriage matter. I don't want anybody to call me to search marriage matter. I want to equip my daughters. I want to equip my daughters to be able to make their own God-based decisions as girls. But I won't wait when they finish university. I call them when they come home before they go for NYC and start talking to them or preaching heaven and earth in a 1 hour meeting or in a short weekend. I want to have built it as a relationship, as rapport over time. Over time, I've already built it as a rapport. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. And that's why I designed this tool for you. I want to hear from you I want to hear that you've pre-ordered this bundle. Take advantage of this early bird window that we're exploring right now. Pure Radiance, you said you were out of data. Welcome back, sis. Welcome back. So here's what I'm saying. Sex education is not, you're about to see your period. This is what will happen. Use pad. No. Sex education is more than that. It's helping your girls know who they are, how women are different from men, God's purpose for creating man and woman, what the relationship and interaction between a man and a woman at any point, what it should be. I mean, there's so much. I mean, as I've been writing, my brain is just exploding. I'm just like, Vivi was here the other time. I'm just telling her that God is unique. Welcome, Mariposita 323. Thank you so much, sis, for joining. I was talking to Coach Vivian the other day. I was saying my brain, I mean, so much is coming out of this. It's just helping me know that God is not permissive. God is not God doesn't want us to have a generation that have done some of the things that our generation have done. Okay, let it be that we were broken. Let it be that we made mistakes so that our children will not make those mistakes. Let it be that our parents didn't talk to us, but we have been equipped to talk to our children. And like I said earlier, I've done the hard work for you. So you have different age groups. What are you going to talk about sex with this age group? And when they ask you question, how should you answer? What are the questions that children of this age are always asking? What should your response be? How should you do it? And all of that. So I've done an amazing work, I can assure you, by God. I've done an amazing work with that toolkit, by God. So I'm asking you to take advantage of it. Stop slacking. Stop sleeping on a bicycle. Welcome, school medics. Stop sleeping on a bicycle, right? I've done the hard work. If you don't want to run after your daughters with men beating them up in marriage, you don't want to run after your daughters running around STIs that their husbands are infecting them up and down. If you don't want to run around your daughter making the poorest, saddest sexual decisions, just send me a DM and pre-order the sex education bundle for girls. You know what I know? The sex aspect of our lives is a very critical aspect. It connects everything. It connects so much. It connects so much. It connects so much. We made a lot of mistakes when we're younger. Let's not let our kids go through that route. They may not survive it. They may not. They may not come out of it. Even you look back, think about the people that you saw when you were growing up that were wild and crazy. Sometimes we like to talk about the one that gave their life to Christ, is now a pastor. I always like to ask, what's the fraction? How many are still okay now? How many are alive? That's where we should even start. So don't walk away. Don't casualize it. Don't say I sorted myself. Did you? If I'm to look you in the eyes and say, when your parents didn't give you sex education, the places you turned to, can you clap your hands and thank God for the experience? Because if you can't, then you should make sure you close the gap for your children. You should. So that's me tonight. All right. That's all I can say tonight, guys. I wanted to say girls. That's all I can say tonight. I've done the hard work for you. So jump in on our early bird pre-order, which I told you was our validation window, to be sure that you see the value of this. And then we can step out on our campaign where we're going wild. So we're going to be out. You're going to see us on social media street, different places, just making sure we're getting many more parents getting the sex education for girls bundle. We're going to raise a generation of firebrand girls who glorify God. Yep, 100% 10 over 10 girls. We're going to raise them. We're going to be proud of the girls that we raise, the choices that they make. We're going to look back and we're going to be like, yeah, we did it. Like I said earlier, I've done the hard work for you. So just send me a DM. Let me know, leave me a comment that you're interested in the book, and I'm going to get back to you. I want to thank everyone that's hung out with us today. It's been our first episode of Raising Girls. I'm excited that you were able to join. I'm trying to keep it within, there's a duration I'm trying to keep it within, so that it's easy for people who want to catch replay to catch the replay and everything. So yes, I'm going to run through this again. We have an amazing tool called the Sex Education for Girls bundle. We had an early bird pre-order, which means was not really the main pre-order. Early bird pre-order where we give out a bundle worth about 25,000 at 9,000 naira. That window closes on Thursday, January 28th, 2021, when we flag off our official pre-order window, which is going to last for a few weeks. We're going to give the first 300 people who take advantage of that window the opportunity to buy the bundle at 11,500 instead of 25k. Remember, still the value of that entire pack, about the 11 products in that pack. It's amazing. 11 products in that pack. You're buying it for 9,000 naira. It means you're buying it for less than 1,000. And then we're giving you the opportunity to buy it, first 300 people, at 11,500. And after we clock the 300, we close out on that level and we step it up to 13,500, which will likely run all the way till our launch on April 4th. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, I'm going to do this later. This is something we need to jump on right now. We have 6 days before the first window closes. We want you to take advantage of it. Look, we're reclaiming a generation for God, and God is backing us up all the way. So thank you so much for coming in tonight. I'm seeing School Medic. Thank you for coming. Where's the other people? All right, I'm seeing School Medic. Thank you for coming. Vivi was here. Zebra Event, Pure Radiances has been my support system tonight. Thank you so much, sis. Mari Posita was also here. Ruth Waburi. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses, so it's a bit tricky. So I have Joycey for Treasure. My sweet official chef Tina was here. He said the mall was here. Julietta World was here. Thank you so much for coming out, everyone. I appreciate you. Thank you for everyone that came out on Instagram. Thank you, everyone that came out on Facebook. Thank you for everyone that came out on YouTube. And if you're right here, you're watching replay, it's still okay. I'm grateful that you're able to catch replay. So when you're catching replay, please leave me a comment with the hashtag replay. That way, I get to know that you're watching. You have a question, you have a comment, super simple, drop it and I would get back to you. So I want to thank everyone for coming out here. I'm grateful that you came out here. All right. I'm really grateful that you came out here. I'm just remembering that I didn't play my signature song today, but I just had this interesting song in my spirit that I had to like play it out loud for my own self, because I mean it's been a moment of revelation for me just working on this tool. It's been like God has been saying this was my idea for girls. This is my idea for girls. And it's been amazing. So let me set this up a bit. All right. So I'm just trying to set up my Bluetooth speaker, which has been my 2021 companion. So that we can do great things. All right. So I want to thank you for coming. Sleep tight and make sure you share this video. Get your friends and family to watch the replay. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Love you guys. All right. Hey guys, see you next week. Bye.